No one dared to take on the 40 billion project in Africa. Why did Japan lose face after China took over and built it? More than a decade ago, China took over an African project that no one in the world dared to take on, with a total value of 40 billion. However, it encountered all kinds of difficulties during the construction process. Now that this project has made a stunning appearance, Japan has lost face because of it. So, what kind of project is this? What kind of twists and turns did it go through before it came to life? Let us take a closer look in this video. There is such a country in northern Africa. Although it is located on the Mediterranean coast, the environment is very harsh. This is Algeria, located on the southeast side of the Strait of Gibraltar. Algeria is located at the northwest end of the African continent and borders Tunisia, Libya, Niger, Mali, Morocco, Mauritania, and other countries on land. It is adjacent to the Mediterranean Sea on the north and has a coastline of 1,200 kilometers. With an area of 2.38 million square kilometers, it ranks first in the whole of Africa, including the Mediterranean coast and Arab countries. It is larger than Saudi Arabia and has a national population of about 45.08 million. The country has rich mineral resources, with more than 30 types of minerals, of which the proven oil reserves are as high as 1.34 billion tons, ranking third in Africa. And Algeria's oil belongs to Saharan light oil, which is of very high quality. The proven natural gas reserves can reach 2.37 trillion cubic meters, ranking 10th in the world, accounting for 2.37% of the world's total reserves. In addition, there are 20 trillion cubic meters of recoverable shale gas resources, 4 billion tons of iron ore, and rich uranium, lead, zinc, gold, etc. Algeria's strategic location is also very prominent. The northwest of the country is adjacent to the Alboran Sea, and it can enter the Atlantic Ocean by crossing the Strait of Gibraltar to the west. Therefore, Algeria is located on the only way to the western exit of the Mediterranean Sea, and its shipping capacity has great potential. However, the desert area in Algeria exceeds 2 million square kilometers, accounting for almost 85% of the country's total area. The central part is still a plateau terrain, and only a small number of plains and hills are distributed along the northern Mediterranean coast. The harsh environment has also brought certain obstacles to Algeria's development. Although the economy can still rely on the export of oil and gas resources for support, the infrastructure is very backward. This also led to Algeria's development has never been able to break the bottleneck. So in 2006, Algeria decided to build a highway running through the east and west in the desert. However, it is so difficult to build a road in the harsh desert environment. When the outside world learned of this news, a large number of engineering construction teams were once dissuaded, and everyone said they could not help. However, due to Algeria's rich resources and special geographical value, there are still a large number of countries with outstanding infrastructure strength who are willing to cooperate with it, including China. In April 2006, Chinese companies defeated a number of large European infrastructure teams ranked among the top in the world, and won a huge infrastructure project in Africa, the Algerian Expressway. According to the plan, the highway is 1,216 kilometers long, running through the entire territory of Algeria from east to west, passing through 24 provinces and regions, with a design speed of 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. After completion, it will become the main transportation artery in northern Algeria, covering more than 70% of the country's population. It is also an important part of the trunk highway in the Maghreb region of North Africa, helping the development of the entire North African transportation network. According to the plan, the highway is divided into 3 sections: east, middle and west. China did not obtain all sections of this highway, but only undertook the middle and western sections. The length of the middle section is about 169 kilometers, and the length of the western section is 359 kilometers. The total cost is as high as $6.25 billion, equivalent to 40 billion renminbi. The remaining eastern section was contracted to a consortium of 6 Japanese companies, with a length of about 399 kilometers and a total cost of $5.2 billion. The construction of a highway by 2 countries has invisibly formed a competitive relationship. However, the difficulties in building this highway are far more than that. According to Algeria's plan, the construction cost of this highway was borne by the country itself. However, Algeria is not a stable country, and the domestic leadership changes frequently. This also leads to the risk that this project is often suddenly stopped due to the current situation. If it is forced to terminate during the construction process, it means that all previous efforts will be wasted. In addition, in order to help local industries and prevent foreign companies from having a negative impact on domestic industries, Algeria also requires that the cursor company must use a local bank in Algeria as a guarantee, or the bank of the country will issue a letter of guarantee. However, the exchange rate of the Algerian currency is not stable, and huge fluctuations will also make the project construction cost unable to be guaranteed, and even unable to make a budget in advance. Later, Algeria put forward harsh conditions, requiring the original 40-month construction period to be compressed and completed ahead of schedule. And within 7 months in 2009, all 6 sections were completed and open to traffic. In addition, other conditions were put forward in an endless stream. During the construction process, the area where the highway passes through is a special marl area. This kind of rock is very fragile, and it turns into soil when the wind blows it, and mud when it rains. This makes the requirements for the construction of the roadbed more stringent, and it can only be stabilized by artificial filling more than 10 stories high. The difficulty of its construction can be imagined. In 2011, during the construction process, Japan chose to directly abandon the last 84 kilometers near the Tunisian border because the construction was too difficult and the cost was too high. Algeria has been dealing with Japan for a long time, but Japan has always been unwilling to pick up this last section. It was not until 6 years later that the remaining 84 kilometers of the project were restarted by Algeria. And it was China that took over this unfinished project left by Japan. The reason why Algeria chose China is that after experiencing many difficulties, China's performance is perfect. In August 2023, after another 6 years of hard work, the century-old problem of the Algerian highway was finally successfully broken by China. After the full opening of this highway, it once again amazed the world. However, Japan, which chose to strike halfway, lost face because of the completion of this highway. Of course, China's purpose has never been to compete, but to help promote infrastructure construction in Asia, Africa and Latin America while truly achieving mutual benefit and win-win results. Especially after the Belt and Road Initiative was proposed, China's cooperation with Asia, Africa and Latin America has become increasingly close, And Africa is an important participant and promoter of the Belt and Road Initiative. Africa, with a single economic structure and weak development foundation, can also gain more development opportunities in transportation, logistics, communications, trade, and other aspects. This is also the goal and path that China has always adhered to. As early as 1956, China embarked on the path of aiding Africa. Entering the 21st century, aid to Africa has grown rapidly. And China knows the truth that it is better to teach a man how to fish than to give him a fish. Therefore, in the process of cooperation and exchanges with Africa, infrastructure construction is one of the focuses. Today, Made in China is blooming all over the African continent. In addition to the Algerian Expressway, there are also the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, the Mero Dam, the Maputo Cross-Sea Bridge, etc., with more than 1,600 infrastructure projects carried out. Through the efforts and active cooperation of all parties, the lives of the African people are undergoing earth-shaking changes. This may be the true meaning of a community with a shared future for mankind. I believe that with the mutual solidarity and efforts of all countries and regions, a new world will rise. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.